Hey, Jordan from Condo here. Today I want to walk you guys through the 2150 Lakeshore site, the previous Mr. Christie factory, and walk through the first phase of the proposal as First Capital and Pemberton has submitted it. And good news is Humber Bay is finally getting a GO station, it looks like. This is obviously really needed. It's been a long time coming, and I couldn't be more excited about this proposal. I think it's everything you need in a master plan community. So I'm going to hop over to the computer and walk you guys through the development. All right, first things first, let's get our bearings. So if you haven't seen this model before, anything in blue is under construction. Anything in this pink color is, planned or approved, but not under construction yet. So you can see here, we're right at Park Lawn and Lakeshore. Of course, you got Marine Parade here, Humber Bay Park. All the buildings along Marine Parade. You have, Vita 2 should actually be blue, but anyways. And then, of course, you have the future building right beside Vita 2 as well that will unfortunately block the skyline views for residents of Jade Condo. But we are focused on 2150 Lakeshore. So it's this parcel of land here, 36 buildings, 7,500 condo units in total. And we just got the plan submitted to the city for the first phase of the development coming from First Capital and Pemberton. Now, that leads me to my usual disclaimer, guys. I do not speak for or represent the developer. Everything I'm saying is based on publicly available plans and marketing materials, okay? So it's all bound to change and morph over time. They don't have final site plan approval, so things are still somewhat malleable. This is the site here. There's been some changes since the last proposal. I'm just going to pull up the architectural plans or the massing model that they give for their site here. So you can see it here in a little bit finer detail than us. You can see the parkland. So you've got just over a hectare of parkland here, and I believe a quarter hectare of land there. So 42% of this site will be covered in public space, open air public space. And then in the middle of the site, sort of here, is where you have the Galleria. So this is where a lot of the retail component is going to be. But for our purposes today, we want to talk about the first phase of the community, which is this section here. So let's hop over to the slideshow. So this is a rendering of what the development might look like in its, in its entirety in the completion. And phase one is this section here. So Park Lawn Road, Lakeshore Road. This is actually where the GO station is going to be. So if I hop back over to the 3D massing, you can see here the proposal for the GO station. So running along kind of parallel to the Gardner here. This building of phase one is going to be the office component. Then you have two buildings here, 66 and 46 stories of residential with a ton of ground floor retail. And this is sort of the station square that they're calling it because it is where the community connects to the GO station. And as you can see on the phasing here, phase two, sort of the retail hub, the Galleria, that section is going to be phase two of the community, which is great. We're going to see a lot of that come relatively quickly. And then you see, this is the rendering from Park Lawn. So this would be looking at it, facing north. So the south facades of the building. You got to remember when you're in Humber Bay, the lake is actually east rather than south because of, the bay kind of curves around into Toronto. And then this would be the office building here as well. So that's the entirety of phase one with the connection to the GO station, which is great. I like when, it's obviously ideal when the master plan community that has some sort of transit component, when the first phase of it is that transit component, because obviously it benefits not just this development, but the surrounding buildings in Humber Bay as well. And in this building in total, you're looking at 311,000 square feet of office space and 70,000 square feet of retail space. Now, the proposed unit breakdown is 73 studios, 221 one bedrooms, 498 one in dens, 207 two bedrooms, 215 two in dens, and 144 three bedrooms. So, mostly one in dens or larger, which is nice to see. And 10% of those units will actually be designated as affordable housing. And this is the development from the other side of Park Lawn. So you can see here you have Park Lawn Gardens, which is, a pedestrian area to access Station Square and the GO station. You have the office building and the two residential buildings. And then here is a cutout of all of the retail or sort of the commercial ground level area. So on this building, the building that's a little closer to Lakeshore, you're going to have the food store. So the base of the building is going to be designated as a food market, which is nice. Obviously, across the street you have Metro, but that's it really. You have Metro and you have Sobeys, and I guess kind of you have Raba, but that's all you have in this area. So this is nice to see to support that increased density, right? And then you have office space over here, a little bit of retail fronting on Station Square, and a little bit of retail also fronting on Park Lawn. And then just a couple of quick renderings. This is Park Lawn Gardens, and then you can get into the renderings of Station Square, I believe. No? Okay. Well, I have it in my slide. So we will hop back over here. This is the cutout of the, so if we zoom out and look at the development as a whole here briefly, like I said, you have 36 buildings. Some of those are mid-rise buildings, which is nice to see. Obviously more walkable when you have more mid-rise buildings, lots of retail lining the ground levels of pretty much everywhere. And then you have community support as well. So you have the proposal for 2 schools. That would be in this area of the development. Of course, that hinges on the Ministry of Education actually funding that. But I think, we need more schools in this area. And then in addition to that, you have 2 daycares, a proposal for 2 separate daycares. So the big ticket item here, as far as I'm concerned, is transit, because it adds, again, not just to the master plan community, but also to Humber Bay as a whole. So you have the Park Lawn Go station and a streetcar loop as well as the bus routes that already exist on Park Lawn. Here's just a rendering of the Park Lawn station access. Here's just a rendering top down of what the park might look like. Here's another view of the park from the ground floor perspective. And then you've got a little bit of a distillery district vibe going in the winter, which is really nice to see. Obviously with the retail lining the ground floor, probably have pop-up shops, that kind of good stuff. And then here's your community support. So you have a library, 2 daycares, a 5,000 square foot human agency, basically space for a nonprofit, a community center, and the area for 2 potential new schools. Here is a rendering of the Galleria. So top down, bird's eye view of the Galleria, so sort of the shopping district of the community. And then you have this rendering here, which I think looks really good. You've got lots of exposed red brick. I mean, again, kind of like a distillery district feel to it. All of the employment land, so all of the commercial space will be kind of focused towards the, we'll call it the gardener side of the development. Then you have a small portion of it here. And then here's a rendering from the bird's eye view of the development in its entirety. So like I said, 7,500 units, tons of density, but it does come with that transit and also that community support. So this to me is a really exciting master plan community. It's one that I've been waiting for some time. If you want more information on it, link is in the description. And I'd love to hear your comments. What do you think about this development? And I will catch you guys next video.